Hi everybody, this is Crystal. Today I'm going to show you how to make this bag here. It's made with the nylon thread and it's got these gems that are actually glued on. These handles, they have fiber fill in them to make them look poofy. But it's really simple. It's made entirely out of single crochet. It just is a little bit time consuming because it's made with nylon and it takes a little bit longer. Oh, and it's got these little snap closures at the side so you can unsnap it here. The magnetic ones. Open it up a little bit bigger if you want. So, but let's go ahead and get started on it. Okay, for this project I am using Red Heart. It's size 18 nylon thread, and there are 150 yards in this purse skein, and I used just over 2, so probably like 350 would be plenty of yards of it. And I'm going to be using a size G, which is a 4.25 millimeter crochet hook. And then you're going to need these magnetic snap buttons. If you want to use them, you don't have to, but there's 2 in a pack, so you're going to need both of them. And then you're going to need a pack of jewels if you want to put these on. They are size 9 millimeter. They're all different colors. And then you're going to need a hot glue gun and some hot glue to put them jewels on with. And you're also going to need a little bit of fiber fill for the handles. Okay, first we're going to start on the base. And for the base, you want to start off with a chain of 45. And I already got my base done, so I'm just going to show you on a small scale. It's real simple. Once you get your chain of 45, you want to go ahead and single crochet in the second stitch from the hook. And then it's just 1 single crochet in every stitch across until you get to the end of your row. Just like this. Okay, when you make it to the end, you want to go ahead and chain 1 and turn your work. And now we're going to single crochet right back into that very first stitch right here. The very first one. And then it's just 1 single crochet in every stitch across again. So basically we're just doing rows of single crochet. And remember, yours is going to be a lot bigger. I'm just doing small here to show you. Like that till you get to the end, and then it's just a chain 1 and turn, and then a single crochet right back into this very first stitch, and 1 single crochet in every stitch across again. And you want to do this for a total of 18 rows of single crochet, and then you'll have your base done. Okay, once you get your 18 rows done, now I'm going to go around the whole piece with single crochet. So I'm just going to start right where we ended up, and I'm going to chain 1. Now I'm going to start working down this side and putting 1 single crochet in every stitch. Now the first one I'm going to put in is right here. It's actually the same one as this last stitch, but right there. I'm going to put 1 in there, and now I'm just going to work down the side, putting 1 single crochet in each one of these stitches. And you can kind of see where I'm going in. It's just kind of this hole here, like that. I'm going to do this all the way down here. And then when I get to the corner, I'm almost there. Well, I thought I was. Yeah. And when I get to the corner, I'm going to put 2 single crochets in each of the corner stitches. So I got one right here still, and then right here is going to be my corner, which is actually the beginning of this row, but I'm going to go ahead and put 2 into this stitch. 1, 2, and now I'm going to work my way down, putting 1 single crochet in every stitch of this long side. So I'm just going to continue this pattern around. 1 single crochet in every stitch except for the corners, they'll get 2. So I'll continue down with 1, and then when I get down here, I'll put 2 right here in this corner where my little knot's at, and then I'll work up this side, and then 2 will go into this corner up here, and then I'll work my way across the top back to the beginning. Okay, I made it all the way back around to the beginning, and I'm getting ready to go into my last stitch up here, and your last stitch should get 2 single crochets because it's the last corner up here. And now I want to slip stitch into the very first single crochet I did, which is right here. Not that, because that's that chain one we did. We don't want to go into that. This one right here. Now, okay, now what I want to do is chain 1, and I'm going to go right back into that same spot and single crochet. Now this is a real easy bag. All I'm going to be doing is single crochet. 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way around the base, and I'm just going to keep doing rounds of single crochet, and that's going to form the sides of the bag. So just like this, even when I get to the corner, it's still 1 single crochet in every stitch, even around the corners now. We're not going to put 2 on the corners anymore, it's just 1. Just like that. So I'm going to keep going around with my single row of single crochet, and I will meet you back up at the beginning. Okay, when you make it back around the beginning, you're going to need a stitch marker, and I'm just going to use this piece of yarn here. And I'm going to set it right here on my last stitch here. And now I'm not going to slip stitch close at the end of each row. I'm just going to jump right on over to my first single crochet and single crochet in it, like that. Now that stitch marker shows me where my round ended and where I began my new one. And now I'm just going to continue around again with 1 single crochet in every stitch. And this is how it's going to be for the rest of the bag. It's just rounds of 1 single crochet in every stitch. And then the more rows you do, you'll start to see the sides of the bag build up. And I'm going to go around, and when I get back to my stitch marker, I'll just move it up and continue around again, doing 1 single crochet in every stitch until I get the bag as tall as I want it to be. Okay, I've done a total of 36 rows of, or 36 rounds of single crochet, and of course you can do more if you want, but when you make it back to your stitch marker, just go ahead and slip stitch into the next stitch. And then I'm going to slip stitch one more time into the next one. And then you can tie that off like that. Okay, what you want to do once you get as tall as you need it to be is lay it out where it's even. And you can see right here is the edges of the base. So just kind of make it, I always just kind of eyeball this part, but just kind of make it about even on each side. And lay it flat. And then what I do is I just follow it up. Here's the corner of the base, you can see it. I kind of just follow it up straight as I can with my finger, and then put a stitch marker right there at the top. And over here, I'll do the same. Here's the corner, of the base, and I'll just follow it all the way up straight as I can and put a stitch marker in that spot. And then what I'll do is, I'm going to set my camera down. I'll just take it and hold my two sides together, and then I'll put a stitch marker in the same spot on the opposite side. So right here is the stitch marker, so probably right here on the other side. And it doesn't have to be exact, but we're just kind of marking off the ends here so we can put our magnetic buttons on. So I'll just mark this off here, and then I'll come over here to this end and kind of hold it together, and just probably put it right about here, just right across from it on the other side. Okay, that way it kind of just, now you can see the ends. So now I'm going to put my magnetic buttons on next. So I'm going to take them and open them up here. I'm unprepared, I guess. I should have already had them open. And now they're all sticking to each other. Okay, these are real easy to put on. Oh my, they're all over. They have a back and a front here. So these two go together, and then they each get one of these. So I'll set this to the side here. Now pick a corner here, and you got it marked off here so we know where our edges are. So this, where it's marked off, is pretty much the side of the bag. So I'm going to put one piece here and one piece here in between the stitch markers, so it'll fold together like that and clasp. So just kind of pick a spot. Okay, I'm going to go down about 6 rows, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and stick my magnet right below the 6th row, so in between, counting down, in between the 6th and the 7th row, and you just stick it through there like that. And you see your pieces, your two ends sticking out the back, and then you just take this and stick it on there. Now on this part you can use pliers if you want to bend these back. I always just kind of put it on the table, and it should bend them back. Like that. And now I'm going to go over here to the other side. I'm going to take my other end and just kind of make it even. Wherever you, however many rows you kind of went over, just do it the same on the other side. So I kind of just, from my stitch marker, about in the middle, I went over 5 stitches, and then I went straight down. So I'll probably do about the same over here. Count over 5, and then I'm going to count down 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and put my other piece in between the 6th and the 7th row. And you got your pieces there, like that. Put your back on, and like I said, you can use pliers too, but sometimes I have trouble with them and I gotta get a pair of pliers, but like that. And then they'll snap together like that. And you can go ahead and take these stitch markers out, and then you just want to do the same, put them out in the same spot on the other side. So then that's how they clasp together. Okay, once you get your magnetic buttons on both sides, be able to clasp them shut here, like that. Okay, now I'm going to put the gems on it. So I'm going to tuck in my corners. I kind of push them in together like that. And you just get it arranged to how you want to put your gems on. Okay, I'm going to go down the center with the thick line of gems, and you don't have to do it that way, but if you want to, like I said, I kind of eyeball it. Here is the base of the bag. I lay it out nice and straight, and I make sure I got about the same distance on each side from the base. If you want to go ahead and count around and find the true center, you can. I'm not really going to take the time to do that, so I'm just going to start and make a thick line down the center. And this is easy. You just want to take your hot glue gun and start right up here at the top and gluing them on right up. Start up here at the edge, and you just decide what pattern you want to do. This part's probably going to be a little bit of time consuming. I might have my kids help me do this, but they like to do stuff like this. And you just do it however you want, however design you want to do. I think it would probably look good anyway, and it would even look good if you didn't put the gems on it. So that's completely up to you. You're the artist. You can decide. I don't think you could do anything to make it look bad. It's going to look good regardless. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and decide how many rows I'm going to do here real quick, so I can let you know, in case you do want to do it just like me. You can probably hear that TV in the background. That TV is so loud. I swear everybody's deaf in my house. They always turn the TV so loud. And even though I got my door shut, I can still hear it. And I know my camera picks up every little sound, and I'm embarrassed about it. So I watch my videos. It's embarrassing. You can hear kids in the background and TV in the background. Like that. Let's see, there's 6. I might do a total of 8 of these gems across. Just go ahead and get them as straight as you can too. Try to. Whoa. Whoa, got too much glue. There we go. Okay, I did a row of 8. Now I'm just going to start working down, doing rows of 8 until I get all the way down here to my base. I'm going to stop when I get to the base, and you can tell where the base starts right here, just like that. So I'm just going to keep going, and I'm going to do the same thing on both sides so they look identical. So I'm going to go ahead and get this finished up. I'm probably going to recruit my oldest daughter to help me. And then I will see you in a second, and we'll get the handles sewed on. Or get some handles made and then get them sewed on. Okay, here's what I got so far. I just went down to where the bottom starts. Like that. The bottom base. And I got this one side done. I'll do the other side in a little bit, but now I'm going to go ahead and start on the handles. So I'm going to go ahead and set this to the side for a minute. Okay, I got glue everywhere. Okay, I got one handle done. And this is how I'm going to make them. Now, you don't have to do handles like me. You could do handles any way you want, or you could buy handles if you want. It's up to you. But what it is, it's like a tube. I'm working it around, and then I stuff some fiber fill in it, and then I'll sew them on like that. So if you want to do handles like me, go ahead and start. I leave a long tail to sew on with, but start with the slip knot, and I'm using the same size needle or hook, crochet hook. I always call it a crochet needle. I don't know why, but now I'm going to start with a chain of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now I'm going to slip stitch back into the first chain to form a ring, and then I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to go right back into that same spot, single crochet. And now I'm going to work 1 single crochet in every single stitch. So you should have 8 counting that very first one. All the way around, just like this. And then when you get back to the beginning, I got one more here. Now you can use a stitch marker here if you want. So I'm just going to grab a piece of yarn and stick it right here. Now I'm just going to jump right over here to the first single crochet and single crochet in it, like that. And now I'm going to go around again, putting 1 single crochet in every stitch. And again, you should have 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you can see I'm going to kind of flip it out like that because it starts to go in and it makes it where it's hard to see. There you go. Go ahead and pull my tail through. There we go. Now I'm back at my stitch marker. Again, I'm just going to pull it out and move it up. And I'm going to go around again, putting 1 single crochet in every stitch. So I'm going to jump to the next one. Single crochet 1 time in each stitch. So this is all it is. It's just round and around and around. Putting 1 single crochet in every stitch. And when you get back to your stitch marker, you just move it back up. And I'm going to do this for several rounds until I get them the same length. And you can do it for the length that you want. It's really up to you, however long you want your handles. But I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did 55 rounds total. But remember, that's up to you. If you want to do it bigger or smaller, you can. Okay, once you get it as big as you want it, just go ahead and slip stitch into the next stitch, and you want to tie off and leave a long tail so we can sew it on with that. But first we'll put some fiber fill in it. Just take it, and I always grab my biggest needle that I have and put some in the end, and then push it down like that. And that's how I stuff it. And you want to make both handles the same size and everything. I'll just stuff it like halfway and all the way up, and then I'll come to the other end and start stuffing it up. And you can, I'm not stuffing it real tight, but you can stuff it as, you know, however stiff you want them to be. It's up to you. Okay, once you get your handles stuffed, I kind of just roll them in. It makes all the stuffing a little even all around. I didn't stuff all the way quite to the end so I can fold these flat and sew them on. So I'm going to use a yarn needle. This is a big yarn needle. It's got a big eye on it. Now I'm going to take the end And I'm just going to sew this end shut real quick with a couple little stitches. Like that. Now you can put these on the bag wherever you want. It's completely up to you. I'm going to put mine on each side of the gems. A little bit, let me see, a little bit over from them. And I'm just going to sew them on with my yarn needle. So I'm going to go over just a little bit about like that. But you sew them on wherever you want. I'm just going a couple rows over from my gem row. And I'm just going to take it and sew it right on. See if I can get it up here so you can see a little bit better. Just like this. Go through a piece, the bottom row on my handle, and then the row on my bag, and sewing it up. A row on my handle, like that, and then back through here, and through here, and then through my handle. Just gonna keep going until it's real tight, and then I'm going through my handle, through here again, just till I know it's not gonna fall off. Okay, whenever I feel like it's tight enough, I'll weave my tail through the back here. Like that. Now I'm just going to take this and just weave it in. Now I'm going to take this, once I got it on tight, and just kind of weave it in the handle. Just weave the tail through so it doesn't come undone. Like that. And this, when you get it all weaved in, you can go ahead and clip your tail off. And then we're going to start on the other one, and I'm going to do it the same way on the other side here. I'm going to, okay, then I'm going to start on the other side here. I'm going to take my tail here, put it on my yarn needle, and I'm going to sew up this end close real quick with a couple stitches, just so it's flat like that. And now I'm going to sew it to the bag the same way I did the other side. Make sure you get them spaced about the same space apart. And hold it here. And sew it on the same way. And then when I'm done here, I'm going to do the back handle the same. So I'm going to go ahead and get this one sewed on, and then I'm going to go and sew on my other one. Okay, once you get your handle sewed on, that's it. That's all there is to it. A little bit time consuming, I guess, using the nylon and the gluing these on, but it's worth it. It's a nice strong bag. And until next time, have a good day.